This is Michael. We just came back from a ride. The engine is still kind of warm. I think we got dialed in a little bit. I'm going to show you right now. I'm going to start it. And where is my keys? So I was going to tie strap this because I was feeling all the hot areas. And there's no more fuel leak since we tie strap that carburetor inlet valve. So I want to tie strap. You can see the negative wire here. It kind of leans on the bushing here. So what I was going to do is, if you notice there, see how it touches that? I just don't want to create any heat there. So what I'm going to do is tie strap it with the positive wire here. And that would be able to let us kind of like secure it away from the crankcase. Because everything on the crankcase gets pretty hot, even almost the CVT area. So that's why you want to make sure. But yeah, we got it dialed in. It wasn't that bad. Too bad my RPM didn't work, or else I can know what it's idling at, which RPM. But I tuned this screw right here, and I took a Phillips, or flat hem, sorry, and I tuned that screw right there, you see. And that was basically it. Let me see if I can get a key to fire it up for you real quick here. Okay, we're going to get this started. We'll put our key in here, and you can see the engine. You don't want it to die out. Here we go. Very simple. Kill switch is on. Hit that. Did I miss something? There we go. Heard like it hit. Yeah. One quick push. So I don't have to start or nothing. So battery's holding its charge. Check out the battery voltage again. There it goes. 14.71 volts or 70 volts. So just crank it up there. It's way up there. You can see here the gauge right there. And there we got the gauge go everything past 12. Now it's all the way almost close to 18. You can see here. So that's a really good indicator. So all the gauges are working. The fuel gauge is working. The battery gauge is working. Not accurate, but working. And then your speed here. It's not turning the wheel, but it would have worked. Okay, now the high beam, I'm curious too. When it's sitting on regular beam like this is high beam right here. Right there, see, now it's going back to idling. That's where it should sound. You can see here that both, one light lights up on the very top only. You can't tell, but maybe you can tell from the side. But the bottom light doesn't light up, right? But when I take it off a high beam, because that's a high beam indicator, when I take it off a high beam, right here, I put this off a high beam, you can see here when I take it off. So you can see it first. Okay, I'm going to switch it off. See, now I switch it off, right? But when I switch it off, the driving light goes up to both LEDs. So I'm not sure, maybe I should switch the leads or what, because you can see here the bottom light's up as well as the top light up. And that's not in high beam. Now when I flicker it high beam here, throttle it for high beam, you can see there, I let go. When I flicker it for high beam, I'm going to show you in this end. See, the engine looks like it's going to die out. So we got to maybe fine tune this some more. So I'm going to take my flathead and take my Phillips. There you go, it's dying out. Oh, you know why it's dying out? I'm the one that started it. I forgot to turn on my gas, so it's my fault. But I'll still show you how I tuned it though. There we go, my gas is on now. So it was actually eating off of fumes, like that, or left over from the bowl. Alright, so it shouldn't die out. Okay, so what I did was, I tied my flat, it's kind of very nice axis right here. And then I go right through it. See there? And if you turn it clockwise, you're going to thin it out. It's going to be lean because you're closing the air and fuel mixture. So if you notice here, when I turn it to the right, it starts kind of like pop, 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 pop. See that? If I keep going, it's going to die out. So like that. See that? And that's right there is I believe it's a half turn now. This is a full turn and it's gonna die. There we go. There you go. And then there's another full turn here. And that's where I'm at. I'm at about I think a full turn or 2 full turns. So I'm gonna go and back this up. Now that you see it here. Okay. Half a turn. A full turn. And we can go a quarter turn. Quarter turn is just like right there. That's a quarter turn. If I go another quarter, it'll be half a turn. So we're at about a full turn and a quarter, okay? And then this one, I'm keeping the idle the way it is. It depends on the cable length and everything. And all this does is actually you're same as if you were turning on the throttle here. Right here. You're just adjusting the cable tension from here to where the carburetor is. So again, this is your pretty much your idle screw. And I call this the idle mixture screw. Some people call it the air and fuel mixture screw. There's all kinds of names for it to confuse you even more. But that's all it is. Those are the two adjustments that you'll need to take care of. So I'm going to go fire up this bad boy again. Now it's got a good air mixture screw or idle mixture screw. It's got a good turn and a quarter now. See, at first I kid and I just snapped it one time. Now it still kind of sounds kind of weak, right? Now your idea is you can get their idle lower. See, I'm counterclockwising it, which is lowering it. It's giving more slack to the throttle. This one's tightening it, which is forcing down. It's making the throttle kind of crank over more. So here you go. I'm right tightening it. You want to be able to, you do want to be able to look like you're ready to take off almost. So it looks like when you do this, you're not like loosening. You have to go all the way before it really revs up. So I'm not even doing it. But here you go. I'm going to do it right now. You know, before the bike wants to take off. See? This beast wants to take off right away. So, I also check out the spark plug, which I'm going to show you. I'm going to take off and you can see the air and fuel mixture. You can read your spark plug. If it's white, that means you're having too much air mixture and not enough fuel. So it's running lean. And if it's too much pitch black, you're doing too rich. So you can see my battery's just fine. It's unfortunate that my RPM right here is not working for whatever reason. So we're gonna have to troubleshoot that. Now this is the wire it goes to it, I believe, or maybe this one right here. So maybe it's just a broken connector. We'll see. I'll have to take this off and open the panel and see if I need to solder something. Hopefully it's an easy horn. Speaking of horn, that is loud. Everyone can hear me. I almost come like a big huge truck. So I'm glad everything's working. So our side blinker and everything's working. It shouldn't die out. So again, we have a full and a quarter turn right now. Okay, we're gonna go switch this other way. Actually, let's stay here for a second. Want to see the kitty? It's lighting up. It's blinking, as it should. There's the left one, not tied in yet, but it's blinking. And then there's brake lights. All right, let's go for the right signal lights. And the indicator there is blinking good. Do a little throttle here. There we go. I took it for a ride around the block. I wish I had enough juice for my camera to capture it for you. It'd probably be hard. I'll probably get like a GoPro helmet set, and then that way you can really see me explore the city of Merced. And who knows, we might always go, maybe we'll go up to Yosemite National Park. Depends how things are going. I'm very happy. The carbon fiber does get a little bit hot, but not a lot. You can still see I can touch it. If this was any kind of muffler, just do not touch that, because that is piping hot right there. That's where all the power is thrown out. You can see here it's still cutting a little bit, so we can enrich it a little bit more. But your spark plug will tell you. We'll take it out, and if it becomes so white, that means you're not getting enough fuel mixture, so you want to enrich your screw. So let me go ahead and try to do that while they've been running. Now I think my idle's good, because if I grab the throttle real quick, the bike starts wanting to move, let's say. By the way, my brake here is okay, you know what I mean? Even though I broke the brake breather, we couldn't salvage it. We tried every tool imaginable. We couldn't salvage it. That thing is just way wasted. There's a little ball bearing there that prevents it. I can feel my sleeves here, you can look at it. Well, I'm pretty tight shirt right now. But yeah, that thing is puttering. So you don't want it to putter where your exhaust is going puff, 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 puff. So you want to make sure it's kind of a smooth. So this one's actually ready. So when you let go of the throttle, like back out like this, it doesn't die on you. That's what you want. Because if you have it a way where it does, that means you need to give it a little bit more fuel. So let me go ahead and squeeze. Well, let me see if I can loosen the throttle idle. I'm going to counterclockwise it, okay? So I'm taking off the throttle a little bit. There you go, you can hear it. It's quieting down. But it's cutting. It's like it's almost on his last breath. see the stator right there. You can almost see it slowing down. Okay. I'm starving the engine. Now I'm going to go and give it a little bit more juice. How it sounds natural, you know. Again, you can feel it too. It's not vibrating so hard. So this is almost tightening your throttle cable if you were to do it on your arm. A little too loud. Just like, you do actually want a little bit of the wheel to kind of kick forward if you were to lift it. Let's say, here, I'm going to lift the bike a little bit. It's on a center stand right now. It's a little heavy, so I really can't lift it up. I'm surprised that I rolled it around the block, and it doesn't seem like there's any wear or touch on the NTY spring, so I guess it's a keeper. It worked well with the Michelin City Grip tires. You hear that? It's choking a little bit. Okay, so I don't want to increase my fuel and air mixture idle screw here. So what I'm going to do is just turn the idle screw more. Sorry, I'm confusing with air fuel mixture screw. The key word is mixture, and this one's just the idle screw. Idle mixture screw, idle screw. Okay, so I'm going to turn on the idle screw more. I'm going to kind of get the throttle in a little gear. Sounds like a healthy. A little too strong. If you do it too strong, you start seeing your back wheel spinning. It's just like if you were to push the leveler here. So let me go ahead and see how good I can. See, that's too putting now. Because this will die easily. See, I'm loosening it. You can see that, almost dead. Now it's quiet. But that means, if it's like this, that means for it to respond, you have to turn this almost all the way. Look, I'm turning by the time it really gets to you. So here we go. How's that? A little bit more quieter, but it looks like it could probably die any minute. Hear the put put. See that? You can see my sleeves here. Yeah. Not too bad. It's getting too hot yet. Now just don't touch this part though. The oil is still good. It's at that level. That's like starving the engine a little bit. You know, you think that you're not working the engine because it's going put, 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 put. But what it's doing is actually running really thin. And that can actually burn your engine. So you want to give it a little bit more. Right, to tighten it up. Now I could get the same effect from enriching my enricher screw, or what do you call that? Your idle mixture screw, or your air and fuel mixture screw here. But I just don't want to turn this more than probably a full turn and a half. So I want to go ahead and make sure that my idle can support the rest. Idle screw. So I'm going to go ahead and turn again, clockwise, tightening. I'm going to do it right here. Heartbeat. That's the heartbeat right there. I'm leaving it alone. I'm going to go counterclockwise more. See that? It's running rich. Or it's running at a high RPM. You probably want to keep your RPM at 1,500. Unfortunately, I don't have an RPM meter right now to actually see where I'm at. That way it doesn't die out when you actually have it idling. And your idle jet, which is on the bottom of this, so where the float bowl is, you can access it. It's going to kick in at a quarter turn, and after a quarter turn, it's going to be your main jet, or a 3/4 turn, it's going to be your main jet kicking all the way at full throttle. So I was actually taking it for a spin, and I didn't go past 30, of course, because of my brakes, but it doesn't really kick in much for me, the main jet, so I don't know yet. But we'll see. Throttling it. Hear that? Whoa, okay. We'll leave this piece alone for a second. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn it off and I'm going to check the spark plug with you. So I think this is okay, this idle. My goal is to get the idle a little bit lesser, but I don't want to like spin this for so long until it actually grips. So let's see. Okay, there we go. It's okay. All right, so it's still sputting. You know, you gotta go by the feel and the sound of it. If it looks like the engine's starving, like it's on its last breath, then crank it a little bit more. That way it's ready to go when you're at full throttle. It's better to run your engine rich than lean. Lean is mean, it's gonna be dangerous. It's starving your engine of its fuel and mixture. Yeah, this is definitely throttling. So this is starving it. You can hear the difference. See that when it's trying to come in and out, that means it's starving. Probably want to enrich it a little bit where it's consistent. It's consistent sound and vibration. There you go. I think that's the point. Yeah, if you had an oxygen sensor, I mean like air and fuel sensor to bolt on your exhaust, you have a little bit more accurate reading. Some people say 12.5 is ideal on that sensor, the AEM sensor. Some people say it's 14. But it just goes on the body of the weight and where you're living at. Like we're right now, I guess at sea level. We're in California. So I'm going to turn this off and I'm going to show you the, sorry, now I don't have to talk over myself. Now I can talk over the engine. Now I'm going to go ahead and show you the bolt there. Oh, by the way, another thing is also, you notice that these rubber caps here protect any kind of debris from getting into your spark plug area and buildup. But they also serve a disappointment because what they do is they force that rubber to pretty much go against that little, if you had your fan shroud, if you don't have your fan shroud, it still go against the heat sink of the cylinder head and it pushes it out. So what you're trying to do, if you are going to use the rubber from it, that's why I guess NGK doesn't make these kind of flaps, because they kind of pretty much will probably back up your spark plug for you. So I'm not sure if I pulled out that spark plug last time or actually did on its own. Let me go and turn this off. I don't want to kill our battery. So we got a lot of things to do also. Here we go. So I'm going to pull this out. It's going to be very hot. I'm not even sure I should even do this at this time, but let's do it. Okay, so it's good there. It's stuck there. But I want to show you where the spark plug is right now. Again, I took it for a good spin around the block. It did okay. You know, it wasn't impressive like, you know, riding a dragon yet, but I think with the right tuning and everything, we should get there. Be careful, the valve cover is also extremely hot. I just tapped it there. And by the way, you can also see the fumes. See all that moisture? You'll see it starts vaporizing. It came up all the way over here, right? You can see a little bit. See there? That's not my silicone. That's actually the vapors coming from the positive crankcase ventilation. So I'm glad we left that open. But we're probably going to start, and then also you can see there's fuel here. This looks like the gasoline line. There is fuel trying to make its way out back. Since this was upclined a little bit, it kind of looked like it was I guess a decompression. Just like we're about to install our decompression tube for our oil as well, which always the engine forces it out somewhat. It just needs to siphon up a little bit, run back in, of course. We're not trying to throw away the motor oil. It just needs to decompress itself, like relieve itself. Just like when you have gas, you know, you want to relieve yourself. You can't hold it. It's dangerous for your health. So you try to do it silently somewhere. All right, so we're going to go ahead and try to get the spark plug out. I gotta be really careful because everything is hot, especially in that exhaust area right here. You do not. And then, by the way, it changed color rapidly. You remember this was the same color here, chrome, kind of a silver color, and look how much it changed. See that? It's like a golden color. It's almost like a caterpillar. It did that the first time I just fired it up, and it came hot right away. And let's see if there's moisture in the tip where it used to be. There was smoke before. No, there's no more smoke. But let's see if there's moisture buildup. No, if it is, it's probably dried up because all the heat, condensation, all the fuel and everything mixture coming out. So it's pretty nifty now. I can't see the inside like I did before. You remember last time we saw like James Bond's eye, the red one? So I don't know where that red one went. Let's see if I can lighten it up. No, I don't see it anymore. But there was, right? I wasn't seeing something. Now it's like just a pitch black. Okay, but anyway, let's go ahead and take out the spark plug and investigate and see where our spark is. And I'm probably going to take the seat cover off if I'm going to do a little bit more tuning, and even maybe the CVT cover off, because I'm going to go and get the Prima roller tuning kit and find out what good weight's on there. Right now, currently, it's running, I believe, 15.5 grams of sliders. So I'm going to actually see if I can lighten it up or even heavy it up, because I think the original stock one on GY6, there were 24 grams. They were pretty heavy, but they did a great job. By the way, I think my well, not 171, my 150cc actually ran a little bit more smoother than my SSPG currently right now, only because of the state of it's not properly all tuned yet, and maybe because it doesn't have all the wind covers on it yet. So I feel like it's still kind of like, you know, not that smooth of a ride yet. I really want it to be a little bit more pick up and go. But it's good start. You can see here I crank with one little push. I'm not constantly trying to crank it over or anything like that. And unlike the Ruckas, I don't have to blow, you know, what you call your gasoline tank every time and trying to siphon it. The gasoline tank that's on the bottom here, trying to siphon it onto your whatever PWK carburetor. So that's one good thing about not having to ride one of those kind of low Ruckuses. Even though Ruckuses are badass, I especially want to see that someone can actually make one almost like the, you know, the Dark Knight Batgirl one that was riding. Or is she the Batgirl, or she's Catwoman? I can't remember. Well, you know, Hannah Hathaway. So that would be really cool to see those big fat tires spin like that, going on a turn like that. Oh man, that would be awesome. So let's go ahead and check this out. Careful, everything is just hot. I'm trying not to touch close to the valve cover. Got my nail here, that's why it's not that hot. But if I was to fingerprint it, I'd probably lose my fingerprint. Okay. I think it's there. Let's see. Oh yeah. All right, see, there it goes. That is my tip right now currently. You can see it. It looks like it's not too white, I would say. So there's not like it's all air mixture. Again, we've been playing around with the tuning, so it could be off a little bit maybe from last time tuning. But yeah, you can see here, it's a kind of a nice brown color, just like your oil would be. So I think this is probably a good, perfect mixture. And that's probably what we want. Here we go, just want to cross-examine it again. Probably put it in there. See that right there? Not too bad, huh? Yeah, this is an NK uranium spark plug one. Okay, so I'm gonna put it back in. Back in, just be just as careful, because everywhere is hot. Sorry, can't see me, so I just slide it. Oh wow, a little tip there was hot. Okay, so we're gonna put it back in. And we're gonna put it back in. Everything is almost just as hot. The hair on my finger just touching a little bit. I felt the heat already. Yeah, it's just, you know, the SSPG is known for, you know, really the hot engine. So what I'm going to do is probably install the external oil cooler. If you do get the SSP one, if you don't get the, you know, the one with the left crank, I mean the right crankcase with the oil ports, with the banjo bolts, holes straight in, you could order the kit one and replace that right crankcase, or you can just get the NCY one and install it. That's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna put the NCY one external. Sorry, I want to make sure I'm cross-threading it. I'm not feeling it go in yet. I have to hold it steady for me to do this. So let me see. Okay, what I'm gonna do is tap it with my hand. Okay, again, everywhere is hot, so I gotta be careful. Let me reach in here and see if I have a little bit more leverage. All right, there we go. A little bit more. Yeah, those heat fins are a little bit helpful because they're not too hot, because the heats are escaping, but they are still like a grill. So you definitely don't want to hold on to them too long. Okay, I think it's not cross-thread, so we can probably drive it in a little bit better now. So let me go ahead and drive it in. Oh yeah, see that? Oh, by the way, the torque specs on this one, if it's a ceramic cylinder, I believe is about 7 point something to 8 point something foot-pounds. Now, if it's something a little bit more like a, I believe it's another kind of cylinder, you can go up to, you know, 7.5 still, which I always just stick around with 7 foot-pounds to about 10 foot-pounds. So that's what the NGK says on the spec sheet, where you could torque it at. Okay, so there we go, righty-tighty. Okay, I want to make sure it's not cross thread. I think we turn it quite a bit. Let's see how it looks. Yeah, it looks like it's supposed to go in this way, right? Always concerned about cross-threading things, because things can always forcefully go in, but you don't want to cross-thread it. Let me back it up and just make sure it's not cross-thread. Getting in there, one thing. Wow, hot, hot, hot. Okay, let me go ahead and... Wow, even the socket's hot. It's right here. And it was just only there for what? A good couple minutes? I think the heat transfers from the ceramic aluminum cylinder here to the... I think it's okay. It's not cross thread. Cross thread probably wouldn't let me go that far, but let me just back it up and just double check, because everything's hot, and when things are hot, things are expanded. So just gotta be really careful when you're putting in your spark plug when it's still hot like this, because you can easily cross thread and not know it because things are expanding for you. Okay, I think it is going in, so let me do it by hand and see how far it can turn in with my hand here. Okay, here we go. See there? See, if it goes in smooth like this, that's a chance that it's not cross thread, because it won't let you spin like this if it's a cross thread, because you're not that strong to make the cross thread with your two fingers here. Unless you're Bruce Lee, then it might be a different story. You can do one finger push-ups. Okay, I think it's good. Yeah, it's just so hot. Ouch, ouch. Okay, so it's not cross thread. We're good. We're getting... Oh, even the socket's hot. Alright, so I just want to show you that where it's at right now. And just remember earlier again, I didn't realize that the spark plug boot came off, so it had no contact. I was cranking the battery. Luckily, it probably didn't fall below the 12.5 safety line. So far I haven't had to charge that battery again. Pretty much the scooter's charged. I try to fire up once a day just to make sure I maintain the battery, because we're doing a lot of tuning and troubleshooting, especially when we start dealing with the lights and alarm system we're going to try to install. We want to make sure we have it start up first. Alright, I'm not going to do what I did to my banjo bolt, so don't worry. That's it, I'm letting it go. I could have let the banjo bolt go probably half the time when it was already in there. I think it sealed it, not having to worry, but I just didn't like the aesthetic of having it look like a banjo bolt screw halfway in, you know, even though it was really extremely tight. It just didn't really fit with me. So, you know, I broke it, but that's the way it goes. We learn. I got a new assembly coming, so that will be fine. I can't believe I spent an hour picking on that guy and trying to get it out, and the parts are not that expensive. They're like 29 bucks. So I just ordered a stock one because I don't think there's a performance caliper. I wish that we did. NCY makes one for that same brake type, but I don't think so. I think they make them for the Zuma and everything like that. The nice one too, very colorful. But maybe they will. The GY6 are becoming very popular. Or they were popular still. Okay, I think I'm pushing it. You want to hear that click, because if you don't hear that click, that's not all the way in. There we go. See that? It's kind of rubbing on something. Alright, then the best way to tell if we start the scooter again and it fires it back up. So here we go. My blinker is coming on. I'm going to hit the start button, hold the brake lever. Look at that. One little slight push, that's all it takes. Cranks really fast. Hurts like a kid. Yeah, we're going to go ahead and probably mess around with the jets a little bit too, but I want to see what the current jet is right now that it's tuning it that way. So I feel a little bit more comfortable. You see here, that thing is hot. It's like a gold color now, almost matching this one right here. Yeah, this one's actually not bad. Oh, it's still hot. Yeah, you can cook things on that one. Oh yeah, what I was going to do, I was going to tie strap this. So you can see here how the wires, right now it's okay, it's not leaning in it, but eventually it's going to make its way back to that side of the crankcase, right here. So right here, right there, it's going to lean right there, and that's what I don't want. So I'm looking forward to taking that one back off. And our strut for the Gibby one's going to come. It's gonna look like this. Pretty much it's gonna be a solid aluminum piece. That's the $60 one, just for 2 pieces of aluminum metal like this. And then I got another one that's coming at $16. So we're gonna see that one first. We're gonna try out the $16 one because I'm gonna have it bolted from here, and it's gonna be right there. I guess it's called a strut or a strut bar or a flare. It's mainly to hold your car performance flare. I figured, you know what, since this needs a little bit more support, the Gibby cases are about a good 11 pounds by itself without anything in it. And most of those cases that they give you are probably no more than 2 pounds. Oh, what'd I do? What'd I do? Okay, my fuel is on. And there's no oil leak, by the way. So what that tells me is if my engine's idling like this and it dies out, that means I can increase my enricher screw, air and fuel mixture screw here, make it a little bit more richer. Or we're gonna turn in our throttle idle mixture screw here and make it more tighter, give it a little more juice. So let's do that again. My blinker's on too, by the way. My battery's still high up there. You can see it's over 12 volts, and that's really good. Okay, so we're gonna crank it again. Hold down the brake lever. Oh, I didn't push it quick enough. I mean, I didn't push it, you know, at least a good second pause, you know? Okay, so what that tells me is we can go ahead and enrich this a little bit more. So let's do it. There, that's it. That's a little slight turn. I just did another quarter turn, that's it. So that's all I did, just another quarter turn right here. And then we'll go from there. See if it dies out while we're talking. But yeah, no more oil leaks. Just that little simple tie strap there did the trick. Right there. Simple. It beats these guys right here, unfortunately. But this one, again, it'll work great. I mean, it's a 1/4 inner diameter tube, so it goes great with that here. There's no leaks right here because of these guys. So I'm thankful for that. You know, I think I got one over here too somewhere. Yeah, right there. So there's no problem there, see? But this is a downforce one. So it doesn't have anything to worry about. So yeah, so we're all set. I just gotta get my RPM thing here to work. So I'll troubleshoot that later. Okay, here we go. And then maybe I'll cross-reference the high beam and the low beam like this, because again, you can see here. See that? That's with the high beam off, and that's with the high beam on. So it's supposed to be reversed, you know what I mean? It's supposed to turn both lights. Right now, the bottom light's not on. You can't tell, but I come from the side, you can. See that? You can see the LED is not on, but the top one's on. And that's actually for high beam right now. You can see there. But the minute I turn it off, you know, I'm gonna toggle it off. I'm just gonna turn it off. The minute I toggle off,